Kyle Dubas has been put in a position, and he's put himself in the position a bit too, with all these veteran contracts and these
Right.
older guys,
Right.
and they have no depth.
Right.
What do you do in Pittsburgh, Eddie?
Well, I think the fate was sealed is when you brought Carlson in, and they decided to go ahead and bring back the band when they decided to bring Letang and Malkin both back, and extended them, right. And it's a brutal spot. Now Jake, is a very interesting situation, right? Is that he's unrestricted, and they can pretty much do what they want to do, but at the end of the day, or try to do what they want to do, that being the Penguins. But then he can just sit there and go ahead and play it out. And has there been any player there, and since Sid has been there, that has any better chemistry, with Sid than Jay Gensel? And I would argue the question, I would say no. The answer to that question is no. There's no better player that has been helped with Sid. So yeah, they're in a tough spot. But I mean, Mr. Shannon, you knew this 2 years ago, did you not? You knew that Jake was coming up in a couple of years, and I would look at him as an absolute priority. There's no doubt. And if you ask Mike Sullivan, anytime I've talked to Sully about Jake Gensel, he talks about his IQ and everything. And look at, decisions are hard and whatever, but sometimes you got to play that hand that's dealt. And they decided to go ahead and try to run it back and bring those guys back, and they did. But now you're in a spot where you're right. They don't have a lot of depth scoring. They don't have a lot coming. They re-signed Tristan Jarry to a long-term contract. And look at the goaltending it's been way better than I thought. And I think these guys have been healthy, which has obviously been very huge for them. So if he's not, I don't think that they can be in the position like the Islanders were with John Tavares, where you're just going to let him play it out and say, you know what, we're going to take a run. And if you miss the playoffs and you let him walk for nothing and you don't get anything for him, I think from the management side is if he's not willing to sign an extension, because I would want Jake on my team 100%. If he's not willing to sign, then you have to move him. I don't think that for the best of the franchise, I don't think that you can sit there and let him play it out. Because they're a bubble team. Are they going to make a run here and be 10 or 12 points in maybe they can. I don't know. I don't think they're going to, but I think they're going to be a bubble team. If he's not willing to sign by the trade deadline, I don't think if you're Pittsburgh, I don't think you can let him go for nothing, because there's no guarantee he's going to sign after the season. And I know what Steven Stamkos did. I know that. And there's other examples where guys have signed after the fact, but they're a bubble team. They're going to be a bubble team next year too. Are they not? I don't know if they're miraculously going to change in a matter of a year and think that they're going to. There's no guarantee of them making. I know there's no guarantee at anything, but I don't see them not being a bubble team moving forward, even with Sid, still playing some unbelievable hockey.
Well, I don't know how they're going to get better, Eddie. I really don't.
No, they aren't. They're going to go the other way. They're really close to going the other way.
Well, I think the only way. I should say the only way. There are ways. Is that if you're going to go in that direction and you want a quick retool, like we're talking, what I suggested in Calgary, or what I think is going to happen in Calgary, if you're thinking about Pittsburgh here, short term and into the future, look at if Jake isn't going to want to sign, I think you're going to get a lot for Jake Gensel. That's my opinion. I think you can start that process right now. You're going to be a leg up, and then I'll be honest with you. Then I think you got to go to your big guys. You got to go to your big guys and go, look, this is where we are. This is where we were. This is where we are. And this is where we're trying to get to. Are you willing to waive your no movement? And would you consider going somewhere else and playing? That's really the only way. I think that's the only way to do it. Not all three, but maybe you go to two of the three or whoever.
I know who I'd be moving. And I wouldn't have re-signed him.